Okay, this video is for Sharp Mountain 849, who's asking about a training routine they put up, and asking for some suggestions for a center back or an outside back, and wants to know should they take away, add, or leave things the way they are for their training routine. One thing I want to suggest you do, that you can do before all trainings and all games, it's just to pump some. It's a warm up. So you can do it before you do it, even before your warm up, and right. It's just to circulate some air into your stomach. Right. It's called belly breathing, and what it'll do, it'll improve your stamina and endurance when you're doing this training. So what I like to do is right, get on one leg. You get on one leg, and then get into a it's called a power pose. Just arms up, spread wide, and then you're breathing in, and then when you're breathing out, you're collapsing your head down. Supposedly there's a pump in your neck and a pump in your stomach. So when you exhale, you're compressing your stomach down, your neck down, and then you're exhaling out, and then just doing the same thing. And you could switch legs, and it's a little bit of a challenge on one leg as well. So that's one thing that you could do before, right? It's before your warm-up. I'm also going to send some links that you could check out. You said you're only spending 5 minutes on a warm-up. I think you're taking your warm-up a little bit for granted, because I think you should spend more time on the warm-up, especially, right, if you get injured or you tweak something during a session. I think your warm-up is the most important part of your training session, because if you don't spend enough time, or your warm-up is poor, and you have a non-contact injury, right, that's on you. So I'm going to send some links that you could check out. It's a whole bunch of warm-ups from some high-level athletes and coaches that you might want to consider adding to your routine. I would also I think there are some things. Well, let's check it out. There's one activity specifically that I think it's fun, and it'll help you train because it's fun, and it'll build a skill that you're not currently working on, that I see from your routine, and that is it's the barrel game, right? It's just juggling while moving forward, using a mix of your right foot, left foot, both feet alternating, right thigh, left thigh, both thighs alternating, and it looks like this, right? Right foot, left foot, both feet alternating, right thigh, left thigh, both thighs alternating, and then anything you want. Right, so that's just a simple, right, a fun game you could do with a partner or by yourself. I got these bins, both of them together were maybe $20, right, cheap, $25. That's something you could do every day. You could switch the size of the ball, use a tennis ball. I'm using a heavy ball, right, a 2.2 pound heavy ball, and that's something that you could do with your wall touches. Change the size of your ball. You didn't mention that. I think that'll help improve your training. Also, you mentioned a rep count for certain number of touches. I want to say you could shift your thinking towards that. To become, those touches should be more of a feeling, right? It really doesn't matter how many touches you get, but the quality of the touches and getting yourself like into that zone and almost a zone of you're not really thinking. You're kind of just reacting and being present, and almost getting into your breathing, almost like a meditation. So that would be my one other suggestion. In terms of your sequencing, you spoke about agility on and with or without the ball. I think you could switch. You could shift that agility sequence towards the warm up, towards your warm up portion, right? So it'll flow, because you want to do agility when you're fresh, especially if you wrote your training sessions 1 to 2 hours long. I would actually tighten that training session down 45 minutes max, and do maybe one in the morning, one in the evening if time allows it, rather than do 2 hours straight and then and have it, right. I think a tighter time frame, get some good quality touches, get some good training in, have a great warm up, and switch in the size of your balls. And one more thing that I did see that I recommend to everyone, just because I feel like it's so underrated, the skills kick trainer, that maybe it's not for your training sessions, but just the fact that you could get such a high volume of touches, and it's going to be working both your feet, timing, balance, coordination, rhythm, ball striking, passing, just right. Like, you could do it everywhere, anywhere, and it's $20, cheap, and my dog chews it all the time, or you don't have to worry about beating it up. So those are my thoughts, and I hope they help. Reach out with any questions. Thanks for your time.